Hi everyone, I'm Lenny, and yesterday I finished translating the second chapter of my novel to English, and I want to tell you something more about it. First, I want to explain how the book is built. We've got a beginning, a middle, and an end. We've got 3 chapters. The second chapter is the longest chapter, and the first chapter is more an introduction. And we are now in the first big part of the book, but that is divided in little chapters. And every chapter, someone else is talking. We've got two head characters. In the first part, in the first chapter or the first part, it was Quintina who was talking. And now in this second chapter, it is Lucy who is talking. And Lucy is in this chapter in the spiritual world. So she's not here on earth, she's there. She is in between lives. And she tells us more about it, how it's going there. And now to more give you an idea about the book is a novel and it is a story, but it's also a subtle introduction to personal development and to spirituality. And there's topics about like personal development, like being in a gratitude kind of mindset that tells you more how the subconscious works. It tells you more about less judging, more self-love, the law of attraction and the power of your thoughts. Awareness, leadership, also how to create your own reality with the law of attraction, how to do shadow work, get rid of your limiting beliefs, how it is to be a highly sensitive person, and spirituality. There's topics and they are like across the entire book about life lessons, and especially the big theme of the book is that the earth is shifting from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension into the age of Aquarius. And I wrote all this in 2019 before the C word happened. I don't know if I can mention it because otherwise this film gets deleted from YouTube. And I had no idea yet then what it all entailed and what was going to come. So it was still a very, how shall I call it, innocent view of the shifting of the frequencies of the earth. So it's also about frequencies. It's also about the 3 waves that Dolores Cannon talks about, the 3 waves of helpers to help the earth be in the light, so the light workers, like the indigos and new age children. It's about reincarnation, of course, because Lucy is in between 2 lives. It's about a lot of those things. Now in this beginning of the book, because lots of people have a bit of difficulty, well, that's people here in Belgium that maybe haven't read as many books as people have in other countries, but they have a difficulty with switching between the characters and knowing who is where, because Quintina was on Earth and is going to the afterlife. Lucy is already in the afterlife. And so this second chapter, Lucy describes where she is, and of course I have made it up. I have watched lots of videos about people talking about near-death experiences. So I have a lot of inspiration from that and from Dolores Cannon, her videos on YouTube where she talks about all these things. And it's a lot of imagination as well. So I'm not saying that this is the truth and this is how it really is. It is still a fiction, but it gives you an idea, it gets you into an atmosphere of how it is there. And you get to know Lucy a little bit in this first chapter. It's only about 5 or 6 pages. It took me a long time to translate it, also because of the vocabulary of the words, because I didn't know how to translate all the Dutch words about the afterlife, the hereafter, the spiritual realms, the stuff like that. So that was hard to find good translations for everything. So I hope it's a bit clear if you read it. Lucy is in the spiritual realm, and she is in a meeting, and she doesn't know why she was invited to that meeting. But there are 2 ascended masters, Saint Germain. And who is Saint Germain? You say, of what is an ascended master? An ascended master is a soul who has really been on earth many times, in a lot of incarnations that we know, a lot of famous incarnations that you can read about in books. They are fully awakened and they are ascended, so they are very high into the spirituality. They have a very high frequency, and they have decided not to come back to Earth because of how far they have developed themselves in the spiritual world. But they have a service to Earth to help, and they are connected in really special ways. They know a lot of stuff. I mean, if you've got the source or God or whatever that you want to call it, they are not that far below that. So they're very, very high in the spheres. Who is Saint Germain? You can of course read a lot about him on the internet. He always wears violet clothes, and he is the master of the 7th ray. But he has a lot of powers, and powers like the ability to teleport, to levitate, to walk through walls, to inspire people by telepathy, among a few things. He is very much the head of the enlightenment of the world, of the shifting from the 3rd dimension to the 5th dimension. And then in the end there's another ascended master. He's called Dwalko, I think, DK, just say DK, that's okay too. And he is also known as a master of ancient wisdom. He is also about self-awareness and teaching people on earth how to be awakened. So they are there. You can read in this a lot about who else is in this room, because in this meeting that Lucy is invited to, there are a lot of normal people souls like we are, but there are also guides there, and guides means souls that have been on earth, have gone to the spiritual realms and have decided that their job is to help people, to guide them. Everyone has guides. That's what you also learn in this book, how your guides are always with you. In this room there are also those ascended masters. There are archangels, Elohims. So there's a lot of things, and it might be a bit overwhelming, but just read through it, because everything gets explained more in the next chapters. So don't freak out from what is this. Just keep reading. Just think of it as a little meeting, and concentrate on how Lucy is feeling, so you get to know her a little bit better. I guess that's everything I have to say about this chapter. Just read it. If you can help me with the translation, if you're like, I should translate it like this or like that, just let me know, because that would really be of great help. And I'm going to go now and translate the third chapter, which is again Quintina talking about her death, because she's just dying. And after that, we go back to Lucy. So be patient. It's coming. It's just taking a lot of time for me to translate it, but I'm doing my best. Just let me know how you feel, if the translation is a little bit okay, or what you would change, or just any tips are welcome. Bye.